If you're still gating most of your marketing content by default, you're creating barriers for your business, hurting your search visibility and slowing down revenue growth, and you might not even realize it. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through when gating content makes sense, when it actually hurts your strategy, and what you should do instead so your content attracts the right buyers and drives results. By the end of this video, you'll understand why gating content became popular in the first place, the real downsides of gating content, the limited cases where gating content still actually makes sense, and what to do instead to build trust and generate leads without unnecessary friction. Let's get into it. First, what is gated content and why did it become so popular? For years, marketers put valuable assets behind forms because the thinking was simple. Give away great content, but first, capture an email address to receive said content, and voila! Now you have new leads to add to your CRM, right? That makes sense when buyers were more willing to exchange their contact info for a guide, an ebook, or a resource. But the buyer landscape today has changed drastically. Today's buyers want immediate access. They expect transparency. They want to self-educate on their terms without giving up personal information just to read something. Let's face it, search engines also favor open, indexable content over content hidden behind a form, which means gating can limit how many people discover your content in the first place, especially in the age of AI. So, what happens when you gate the wrong content? Here's the hard truth. If your content answers a common buyer question and it's behind a form, most users are gonna click away to find the answer somewhere else, somewhere they don't have to give out their information either. Duh. Listen, this creates friction, it damages trust, it reduces reach, and can slow down your sales cycle. Another simple way to tell if you're gating the wrong stuff is this. If your sales team is already emailing that content to prospects during the sales process, it probably should not require a form to access it. Your content should empower and educate, not block buyers before they even get the value they're looking for. So, should you ever gate your content? Yes, but strategically. There are still a few cases where gating does make sense. One of them is when the content you offer is something truly beyond what's already available on your site, like a proprietary research piece, a detailed template, or a high-value toolkit. Another is when the audience already knows, likes, and trusts your brand. For example, someone who's already engaged with your content and is now opting into something deeper, like a webinar or a workbook or an advanced resource, that makes sense. But even then, you can consider a hybrid approach. Make the content accessible on the page and offer a gated downloadable version for people who want to save it. That way you balance trust with lead capture. If gating most of your content is not the answer, what is? Honestly, the best approach is to publish content openly and transparently in order to teach and empower buyers. Answer the questions that they're already asking. Include the ones people tend to avoid, like pricing, comparisons, and how your process works. Then, use value-first calls to action that invite readers to subscribe, join a newsletter, or take the next step rather than forcing them to fill out a form just to sell them later on. When you remove friction, you ultimately are building trust by making it easier for buyers to engage, return, and eventually reach out when they're ready to reach out to you. You can't make them do it. So here's the takeaway. Stop gating by default. Content that answers buyer questions and builds trust should be accessible. Gating should be intentional, strategic, and reserved for truly high-value resources. If you do that and you focus on helping buyers first, you will absolutely attract better leads, build more trust, and support your revenue goals more effectively. So what should you do next? Go review your content and ask yourself this important question. Is this helping my buyers or is this blocking my buyers? If you have questions or you want more information on this topic, check out the link in the description. There's a lot of great information in there. And as always, thanks for watching.